Lelona Njokweni, also known as Uyihlo, is a 24-year-old hip-hop star that hails all the way from Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape. He describes his sound as one that is rich in nostalgia and marrying English, Xhosa and other indigenous sounds. With his unmistakable and unique approach to music, Uyihlo is poised to become one of the leading voices in South African hip-hop. And he joins us now in studio to tell us more. Uyihlo, very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning, Simpu, and good morning to the viewers at home.
Why the name Uyihlo? Are you a father?
Uyihlo. So at first I had a different name as a recording artist, but then at first it was a bit less authentic, and I always called myself Uyihlo Woskiske. You know, so I always called myself that, and just
imagine actually, when you're 30 years old and then you still skr.
Hence Uyihlo.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about your musical background. How did it start for you?
How it started for me, so at first, South Africa is a country that loves dance, so also I started off, loving, how your house music, that's how I initially got into music, then that transitioned into hip-hop, and I've always had a love for writing music.
And then what informed the decision to start rapping in Xhosa? Because I suppose it makes you so unique with the other hip-hop or rap artists.
Definitely. So at first I was just rapping purely in English, and I realized that when you infuse your mother tongue, it's you become more authentic to yourself, and as you're able to translate better to the audience here at home as well. So that's why I decided to go with both.
But how difficult or easy was it in the tongue rapping in Xhosa?
It wasn't easy, it wasn't too easy because, at first you're just used to and then now you're taking your time, you're crafting your lines, now King is Xhosa, you see that, there's different ways that you can, use your pen in the Xhosa language as well. So, but it's been a great experience because I believe your music becomes more richer in that way because you're able to say something that, people will hear for the first time. It's more likely to do that in the Xhosa than you are Nangesingesi.
So how's the feedback so far? How are people receiving your music?
They're receiving it well. The audience that it's intended for, they're enjoying it because
who's the audience that is intended for? Is it your Xhosa audience, or is it just about everybody who loves music?
It's not I don't want to limit myself to say it's a Xhosa audience. It's an audience. It's the youth of South Africa.
Okay.
That's who it's for. It's for the guy that's waking up that says, okay, I'm waking up at 5 o'clock I'm going to work, but I've got a dream as well. I'm hustling. It's for those guys. It's for those girls that are have got their mind set on something, on a goal, and I call it motivation music. Is what I call it.
Motivation music.
That's what I call it.
And speaking of that, I mean. How would you describe your music? Is it hip-hop? Is it rap? Is it trap? Like, how would you classify it?
I'd classify it as hip-hop, but then again, I'm a versatile artist.
Yeah.
So I do make hip-hop, but then I also do infuse, indigenous elements into the music as well. So I believe in this, in this current time, you have to be versatile as an artist. Absolutely. You have to be able to do, hip-hop. You have to be able to do a bit of, Afro-pop, so, yeah.
And what are some of the themes that run through your music? I mean, what is it that you sing about?
What I sing about is, as I mentioned, is the guy that I'm speaking to or the lady that I'm speaking to, that I'm saying that they're a hustler. They're the ones that are getting up and working towards their dreams. I'm actually speaking to them through myself because I'm also speaking to myself. So I'm speaking through growing into adulthood, figuring life out. And basically my music is just it's like a journal. It's an audio journal because I'm just journaling, my experiences and the things that I go through.
And motivational in a way.
Motivational in a way. So it's like it serves to motivate myself, but then again it ends up, motivating others as well.
Okay. Now let's talk about your debut EP, New Earth. How did that one go?
New Earth, New Earth, that was released in 2020.
Yeah.
That was, first official one, but before that, there were many unofficial, mixtapes and EPs and whatnot. Yes. But New Earth, as the title suggests, it was me stepping into a different mind frame, understanding who I am better, trying to unlearn, some of the things that I'd learned that maybe weren't doing me so well, that weren't doing maybe my spiritual hygiene too well, or how I interact with myself as well. So I had to learn new ways to have a better relationship with myself. So that's how New Earth came about.
Yeah, and the following year you released Ntswela Boya, right?
Ntswela Boya.
Yeah. What's that about?
So Ntswela Boya it basically details Ntswela Boya, but Ntswela
Boya, is it a thug?
No, it's not necessarily a thug, but it's ngumuntu basically ngayibeka kanjani ngumuntu othatha chance nje, or so
I know.
so I named it that because that was where I was going through an era where as a young man you go through ubuntswela boya nyana. So that was me going through that, and just putting that in the music.
Okay. But what's the message, the core message that runs in Ntswela Boya?
The core message that runs, I think it's the same theme through and through. But I think the main reason why I think I leaned more into detailing my experiences, interacting with women in that particular EP. That was what it was meant for.
Dude, you've been around, man, and I see you've been making moves. And you also made a noticeable appearance on 5FM with a third-place debut on their hip-hop charts. So was that affirmation enough for you to keep on pushing?
Definitely. So the song that actually did that, the song actually stayed on the charts for a couple of weeks, and then it went, it actually clinched number one, Papa's.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually, and it surprised me because that song, it's not necessarily a song that you would consider a radio song, because
what do you mean by that?
I'm just straight rapping, like from start to finish. There's no chorus, there's no nothing, and I'm straight rapping on there.
From start to finish?
From start to finish. So it's not, but it's just rap. So that's what, it was a good pat on the back. Funny thing about Papa's is, my dad, I always have a conversation with my dad. He always says to me, yo, I know, that's my favorite one.
Really?
Yeah.
He listens to hip-hop?
Yeah. No, he listens to it. He does.
Or he listens to hip-hop because he loves hip-hop music because, his son is a hip-hop star?
I think he recently, started listening to my hip-hop. And then I think on YouTube, and then he started going in, and then he started seeing, now he even, he will be speaking on WhatsApp, and he'll just send me, he's like, yo, Jongale artist, he'll just send me another rapper that he just discovered on YouTube. Right. And then so I think he's fully in now, he's loving it.
Someone just asked me if I should ask you if your dad calls you Uyihlo.
No, it doesn't. It can't be. But the funny thing is, I was speaking, during the week, and then so she calls me, telephone, and I say, Uyihlo,
that's funny. Uyihlo, lovely chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, great stuff.